Welcome, coin lovers and history seekers, to another fascinating journey into the world of British treasures. Today, we're diving deep into the realm of the iconic UK sixpence coins, exploring some of the most captivating pieces from the golden mid-20th century. These aren't just any coins, they're pieces of living history, each carrying the charm and elegance of a bygone era. From the 1953 sixpence in circulated condition, echoing the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, to the 1963 coin in fine condition, and the 1966 piece in very fine form, every one of them tells its own remarkable story of craftsmanship and heritage. We'll also uncover the 1955 sixpence in roving condition, a true wanderer through time, and the 1964 sixpence in random condition, whose unpredictability only adds to its vintage appeal. Let's get started up with the 1953 UK sixpence coin, a piece that continues to charm collectors and history enthusiasts alike. This small silver-coloured gem, though modest in size, holds a tremendous amount of cultural and historical weight, representing not only post-war Britain but also the dawn of a new royal era. The 1953 sixpence was the very first of its kind to bear the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, marking the beginning of a reign that would span more than 7 decades. Struck in cupronickel after the silver content was discontinued, the coin symbolized a modern Britain recovering from wartime austerity and stepping proudly into a new age of progress and pride. The obverse of the coin features Mary Gillick's elegant portrait of the young Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, uncrowned, with a serene expression that captured the optimism of the early 1950s. The reverse side, designed by William Gardner, displays the traditional Tudor rose at its center, surrounded by the thistle, shamrock, and leek, symbols representing the unity of England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. Together, these designs make the 1953 sixpence a powerful emblem of national pride, royal legacy, and post-war resilience. For collectors, this coin isn't just metal, it's a piece of living history, an artifact from the year of the Queen's coronation, which makes it an irresistible item for anyone with a love for British heritage. In circulated condition, a 1953 sixpence may appear modest, showing signs of wear from decades of exchange, but that's precisely what gives it such authentic charm. Each tiny mark and worn edge tells a story, of everyday life, of hands exchanging coins for a loaf of bread or a morning paper, of an era when Britain was rebuilding its identity. But when we talk about value, that's where things start to get fascinating. In today's rare coin market, prices for a 1953 sixpence have climbed steadily, particularly for those in exceptional condition. Coins that have been graded MS65 or higher by top certification services like PCGS or NGC can fetch impressive sums. Depending on the market source, a high-grade specimen may reach around $800 in one marketplace such as NGC's Valuation Records, while other rare coin auctions and online platforms including eBay and PCGS certified sales have seen examples soaring closer to $900, especially when provenance or eye appeal is strong. These prices reflect a growing collector appetite for coins tied to key moments in royal and national history, and the 1953 sixpence is right at the heart of that enthusiasm. For collectors in the UK, this coin represents far more than monetary value. It's an emotional connection to the past. It captures the youthful optimism of Elizabeth's coronation and a time when the monarchy and the British people were united in hope for the future. With a weight of approximately 2.83 grams and a diameter of 19.41 millimeters, the coin's tactile quality adds to its appeal, making it a delight to hold and examine. Even in circulated condition, the artistry and balance of design remain striking, and the silver-like luster can still shine through the patina of age. The rarity factor increases for coins with minimal wear or those that have retained strong detail in both portrait and lettering, as most sixpences from 1953 saw everyday use and thus fewer survive in pristine states today. The demand for such coins has seen a notable rise in recent years, driven by nostalgic collectors, royal enthusiasts, and international buyers alike. Online auctions have become hotspots for competitive bidding, and many British collectors have turned to grading services to authenticate and preserve their coins. When a circulated 1953 sixpence finds itself in the hands of a collector who understands its story, its value instantly transcends its modest face value. From numismatic fairs to private auctions, it remains a talking point, a coin that bridges generations and reminds us of Britain's enduring strength and identity. For anyone looking to invest in this piece, there are a few smart tips to bear in mind. Always look for coins that display clear details on the Queen's hair and the floral design on the reverse. Those small signs of preservation can make a big difference in long-term value. Checking reputable marketplaces such as PCGS, NGC, heritage auctions, and even well-rated eBay sellers can offer insight into real-time pricing trends. It's also worth noting that coins with verified certification will always command a higher premium, especially as demand continues to grow among overseas buyers who value British royal memorabilia. In conclusion, the 1953 UK Sixpence is far more than just a coin. It's a time capsule from one of the most defining years in British history. Whether slightly worn or beautifully preserved, it stands as a testament to the resilience and elegance of a nation stepping confidently into a new age. With market values now ranging from several hundred to nearly $1,000 in top condition, and even circulated examples enjoying steady appreciation, this little coin is quickly becoming one of the most talked about small denomination treasures in the numismatic world. So, if you happen to have a 1953 sixpence tucked away in an old drawer or inherited from family, it might just be worth a closer look, because what once jingled in everyday pockets could now be part of a collector's dream and a growing piece of British coinage history. Next up, the 1963 sixpence coin of the United Kingdom is one of those marvellous treasures from the pre-decimal era that continues to captivate collectors and history enthusiasts alike. This coin, minted under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, holds a timeless charm that represents more than just its face value. It embodies a piece of Britain's post-war history, royal heritage, and national pride. The 1963 sixpence was issued during a period when Britain was steadily modernising yet still clung dearly to its traditional roots, and this coin beautifully symbolises that bridge between the old and the new. Its fine condition, even after more than 6 decades, adds a fascinating character that makes it stand out in the world of numismatics today. Many collectors see it not only as a piece of money but as a preserved relic of the golden years of the mid-20th century. The sixpence coin of this year was struck in cupro-nickel, as by this time, silver was no longer used in its composition, a transition that reflected the changing economics of post-war Britain. Weighing approximately 2.83 grams and measuring 19.3 millimeters in diameter, the coin features a portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Mary Gillick. This portrait is cherished among collectors because it captures the youthful elegance of Her Majesty during the early years of her reign, symbolizing a new era of prosperity and confidence. On the reverse, designed by William Gardner, sits the iconic Tudor rose at the centre, flanked by a thistle, shamrock, and leek, representing England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, an enduring image of unity within the United Kingdom. These national emblems combined on one coin give it a deep cultural resonance that reminds many collectors of the strength and harmony that defined Britain's identity during that time. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 1963 sixpence holds an affectionate place in British folklore. It was famously used in wedding traditions, where brides would tuck a sixpence into their shoe for good luck and prosperity, a saying that lives on in the phrase, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a sixpence in her shoe. It was also a coin associated with good fortune during the festive season, often baked into Christmas puddings for someone to find, a small token of luck wrapped in rich family memories. These charming traditions make the sixpence much more than an ordinary coin. They transform it into a sentimental keepsake that still resonates emotionally with British families today. The 1963 sixpence, though minted in high numbers for circulation, becomes particularly appealing when found in fine or better condition. For collectors, quality is everything, and the difference between a worn coin and one in fine condition can be quite significant in terms of desirability and value. Coins that maintain a clear definition of Queen Elizabeth's portrait, a strong strike of the floral designs, and minimal surface wear are increasingly hard to come by. Moreover, coins that have been graded and encapsulated by reputable certification authorities like PCGS, NGC, or similar bodies can command far higher prices in the marketplace due to their verified authenticity and condition. In today's numismatic market, the demand for high-grade 1963 sixpence coins has seen a noticeable rise. On platforms such as eBay and in private auctions, collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins graded as MS65 or higher. Depending on market trends and rarity of the condition, the value of a 1963 sixpence in MS65 grade can be found hovering around $2,800 to even $3,600 in certain auctions, especially when accompanied by full documentation or encapsulation from top-tier grading companies. These figures fluctuate depending on the market's current appetite and availability, but one thing remains consistent. The 1963 sixpence continues to hold impressive strength in the collector's market, showing no signs of fading in popularity. Even coins in fine condition, such as the one we're discussing today, can fetch respectable sums from passionate collectors who appreciate its nostalgic appeal and striking design. The rising interest in pre-decimal British coins adds to the allure of the 1963 sixpence. As older generations pass on their collections and younger enthusiasts begin to enter the numismatic scene, coins like this are becoming more sought after, not only as historical artifacts but as tangible investments. The sixpence, with its relatively small size yet immense charm, is often seen as a perfect starting point for those new to collecting British coins. Its affordability in lower grades and strong potential in higher ones make it a smart addition to any collection, bridging the gap between sentimental value and financial appreciation. For collectors looking to add or upgrade their 1963 sixpence, a few simple tips go a long way. Always look for examples that have retained their original luster, sharp details on both the Queen's portrait and the floral patterns, and minimal handling marks. Avoid coins that have been overly polished, as they tend to lose authenticity and long-term value. If possible, consider professional grading or certification to protect and authenticate your investment, especially if you believe your coin could reach a higher mint state grade. Keeping your coin stored in a dry, temperature-controlled environment also helps preserve its surface and prevents unwanted tarnishing over time. In conclusion, the 1963 sixpence stands as a remarkable piece of British heritage, elegant, symbolic, and steeped in cultural tradition. Its enduring appeal lies not only in its design but in the rich history and sentiment it carries. Whether cherished as a keepsake of a bygone era or sought after as a valuable collectible, the sixpence continues to shine brightly in the world of coin collecting. For those lucky enough to hold one in fine or mint condition, this coin is more than just a fragment of metal. It is a story of Britain's pride, craftsmanship, and timeless charm. So if you happen to find a 1963 sixpence in your collection or tucked away in an old drawer, hold on to it. You might just be holding a small fortune and a priceless piece of British history in your hands. Next up, the 1966 UK Sixpence coin stands today as one of those fascinating pieces of numismatic history that continues to charm collectors and enthusiasts alike, not merely for its monetary value, but for the cultural story it tells. Imagine holding a piece of silver-coloured brilliance that once jangled in the pockets of everyday Britons in the final years before the Great Decimalisation of 1971. The 1966 sixpence coin carries with it a proud legacy of craftsmanship, tradition, and the unmistakable identity of a changing nation. Struck in cupronickel, it represents one of the last issues of the pre-decimal British currency and serves as a tangible reminder of the post-war optimism and royal elegance of the mid-1960s, a time when the British Empire's influence was transforming into the modern Commonwealth and the coinage reflected both stability and heritage under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The obverse of this beautiful coin features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by the acclaimed sculptor Mary Gillick, a depiction that exudes grace and regal dignity, framed by the Latin inscription Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina FD, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse, designed by the talented engraver William Gardner, proudly showcases a traditional Tudor rose at the centre, flanked by a thistle, shamrock, and leek, emblems symbolising England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales respectively, all bound together beneath the royal crown. This masterful combination of floral symbols was intended to reflect the unity of the United Kingdom, and it does so with stunning simplicity and elegance. Such artistry, paired with its compact size, gives this small coin an undeniable visual charm and an enduring historical significance that appeals strongly to collectors. The 1966 sixpence has a standard weight of 2.83 grams and a diameter of approximately 19.41 millimeters, crafted in a durable cupronickel alloy that ensured longevity and a lustrous silver-like appearance. Although millions of these coins were minted for circulation, finding one today in very fine condition is far from ordinary. Many coins that passed through hands in the 1960s endured decades of wear, making examples with crisp detailing, sharp legends, and minimal abrasions increasingly sought after. Collectors particularly value coins that show clear definition in the Queen's hair and crown on the obverse and full detail in the floral design on the reverse, features that define a very fine or higher grade piece. In the collector's market today, the 1966 sixpence enjoys impressive demand due to its position as one of the final pre-decimal issues before the sweeping currency reform that forever changed Britain's coinage system. On well-known auction platforms and coin trading markets such as eBay, PCGS, NGC, and other respected grading authorities, prices vary dramatically depending on condition and certification. Coins that are graded MS65, a near-perfect uncirculated grade showing only the faintest imperfections under magnification, have recently been valued between roughly $1,250 and $1,300, reflecting growing international interest. Meanwhile, exceptional pieces graded even higher or sold through prestigious auctions have achieved prices as much as $1,900 or more, particularly when provenance or pristine presentation enhances their desirability. These figures underscore the strength of collector enthusiasm, especially among those seeking to preserve an authentic piece of mid-century British heritage. What makes the 1966 sixpence truly captivating is not just its market value but its deep cultural resonance. It was minted during a time of transformation in British life, the era of the Beatles, the World Cup victory of 1966, and the dawn of modern Britain's social revolution. This coin passed through the hands of a generation that witnessed change, progress, and pride. As such, it holds both sentimental and historical weight. The tradition of slipping a sixpence into a Christmas pudding or a bride shoe for good luck also adds a layer of charm and nostalgia that continues to enchant collectors and families who remember these customs fondly. It's a coin that bridges the emotional and monetary worlds, both a keepsake of memory and a solid investment opportunity. For collectors seeking to invest wisely, the 1966 sixpence offers an excellent entry point into mid-20th century British numismatics. Its affordability in lower grades and high potential in very fine to mint-state examples make it a smart addition to any growing collection. Enthusiasts are advised to look for coins with strong details, minimal wear, and if possible, professional grading from trusted services such as NGC or PCGS, as authentication and encapsulation often enhance value and buyer confidence. Storage is also key. Keeping the coin in a dry, temperature-stable environment and avoiding unnecessary handling will help maintain its luster and condition over time. In conclusion, the 1966 sixpence coin is far more than a small piece of old currency. It's a shining testament to Britain's enduring legacy, craftsmanship, and identity. Whether you're drawn to its historical beauty, its investment potential, or simply the nostalgia it carries, this coin holds a unique place in the hearts of collectors. As prices continue to rise across auction platforms and numismatic exchanges, especially for coins in very fine or mint-state condition, the time to appreciate and acquire this remarkable piece is now. The 1966 sixpence remains a symbol of British pride and tradition, a rare gem that reminds us how something so small can hold so much history, elegance, and value within its silvery gleam. Next up, the 1955 UK Sixpence coin stands as one of the most fascinating treasures of British numismatics, a small yet powerful piece of silver-coloured history that continues to capture the imagination of collectors across the globe. When you hold this coin in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of metal, you're touching a fragment of post-war Britain, a time when Queen Elizabeth II had only recently taken the throne and the nation was still finding its modern identity. Struck in cupronickel, this coin marked the transition into the early years of Her Majesty's reign and symbolised the rebirth of British pride following years of economic recovery and rebuilding. The sixpence denomination had already held a beloved place in British culture for centuries, often used as a lucky charm in weddings and Christmas puddings, but the 1955 edition carried with it a special significance as it represented a period of stability and optimism under the young monarch. Looking closely at the design, the obverse of the coin bears the first definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Mary Gillick, a beautifully simple and youthful representation of the new queen wearing a laurel wreath rather than a crown. This choice of imagery exuded grace and modernity, contrasting sharply with the more traditional regal portraits of previous monarchs. On the reverse, designed by William Gardner, the coin proudly features the crown Tudor rose flanked by a thistle, a shamrock, and a leek, symbols of England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales respectively, united beneath the crown, representing the unity of the United Kingdom. Every detail on this coin reflects craftsmanship, symbolism, and national pride, making it far more than just a small denomination of money. It's a reflection of Britain's identity in the mid-20th century. In terms of its physical specifications, the 1955 sixpence weighs approximately 2.83 grams and measures around 19.41 millimeters in diameter, crafted from cupronickel instead of the silver that earlier issues once contained. The composition change marked an important shift, aligning with post-war economic adjustments while maintaining the traditional appearance and durability. Although millions of sixpences were produced during the 1950s, the 1955 issue has attracted particular attention due to its low mintage figures and the limited number of high-grade examples that have survived in pristine condition. While many of these coins circulated widely through the pockets of everyday Britons, those that remained untouched and carefully preserved have become highly desirable among collectors today. What makes the 1955 sixpence especially interesting is its rising reputation in modern coin markets. Collectors on platforms such as eBay, PCGS certified auctions, and NGC graded listings have shown strong interest in this specific year, especially for examples in superior condition. Coins graded around MS65 and above, showing full luster and minimal contact marks, have achieved impressive results, often selling for prices near the $1,000 range depending on the market's demand and the coin's eye appeal. In certain premium sales and private auctions, some high-end specimens, particularly those in near-perfect brilliance and exceptional strike quality, have even reached or exceeded figures closer to $1,200. These growing valuations reflect how collectors are recognizing the scarcity of well-preserved coins from this particular year, and how nostalgia for mid-century Britain has enhanced their desirability among both UK and international buyers. Culturally, the sixpence holds a soft spot in the hearts of many Britons. It was not just currency, it carried sentimental value. Traditionally, a bride would place a sixpence in her shoe for luck on her wedding day, a custom that symbolized wealth, happiness, and prosperity. It also found its way into festive traditions, most notably being hidden inside Christmas puddings as a good luck charm for whoever found it. These traditions ensured that the sixpence became more than just a coin, it became a cherished symbol of good fortune, family, and unity. That emotional connection continues today, with collectors often seeking these coins not just for their monetary value but for their deep cultural resonance. From a collector's perspective, the rarity and condition of a 1955 sixpence can make all the difference. Coins in circulated or roving condition, those that have visibly traveled through many hands and display signs of wear, still hold collectible value for beginners and enthusiasts. However, uncirculated or mint-state coins command significantly higher premiums due to their scarcity and aesthetic appeal. Collectors are increasingly aware that examples with sharp details, glossy surfaces, and no blemishes are becoming exceptionally hard to find. The demand has steadily grown over the years as the availability of high-grade specimens continues to shrink. Auction houses, grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and private dealers have reported increased activity surrounding this coin, especially when authenticated and certified. Today, the current market value for a 1955 sixpence varies depending on its condition and grading. A coin in average roving or circulated condition might fetch a modest price of around $10 to $20, mostly for sentimental or beginner collector appeal. However, when the same coin is discovered in an excellent mint state, with professional grading indicating MS65 or above, its market worth can climb into the high hundreds or even approach the $1,000 mark. Some premium sales have recorded exceptional examples being traded in the $1,000 to $1,200 range, showcasing just how strong collector confidence and demand have become. The charm of the Queen's first portrait, combined with its mid-century heritage, makes it an alluring piece for serious numismatists looking to add a cornerstone coin to their collection. For collectors hoping to acquire or invest in this coin, a few tips can go a long way. Always inspect the coin for its original luster, clear strike, and absence of blemishes. Avoid heavily cleaned or polished examples, as natural surfaces tend to preserve more value. Seek out coins that have been graded by trusted services such as NGC or PCGS to ensure authenticity and quality. Keep in mind that rarity lies not just in age, but in preservation. Many 1955 sixpence coins have suffered from decades of handling and storage in less than ideal conditions, so well-kept examples are gems worth holding on to. With patience and the right eye, collectors can find a piece that not only represents a slice of British history but also a potential future investment that continues to appreciate in value over time. In conclusion, the 1955 UK sixpence is a remarkable relic of post-war Britain, a symbol of optimism, tradition, and craftsmanship. Its blend of historical significance, elegant design, and growing scarcity makes it one of the standout coins from the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Whether you're drawn by its nostalgic charm, cultural associations, or investment potential, this coin embodies the timeless appeal that keeps British numismatics alive and thriving. As market demand continues to rise and collectors compete to secure top-grade examples, the 1955 sixpence is proving itself to be more than just small change. It's a miniature masterpiece, one that could turn a simple collection into a treasure trove of heritage and fortune. Next up, the 1964 United Kingdom sixpence coin is one of those remarkable pieces of British numismatic history that continues to fascinate collectors and enthusiasts around the world. Struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this coin beautifully captures the spirit of post-war Britain, a nation steadily rebuilding, proudly traditional, and moving towards a new modern identity. The 1964 sixpence stands as both a nostalgic reminder of pre-decimal coinage and a treasured collectible that bridges history and artistry. Its design, crafted with precision by William Gardner, features the young laureate bust of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, radiating the elegance and optimism of the early years of her reign. On the reverse, the coin carries the intricate floral emblem combining the English rose, Scottish thistle, Irish shamrock, and Welsh leek, symbolizing unity among the nations of the United Kingdom, a true testament to British heritage and pride. The sixpence coin, traditionally valued at half a shilling or 1/40th of a pound, was not merely currency, it was a piece of culture. Generations cherished the sixpence as a symbol of good luck, often placed in Christmas puddings or given as wedding tokens for prosperity and happiness. Its small silver-like appearance made it a beloved part of daily life. The 1964 issue was among the final sixpences produced before the decimalisation of 1971, marking the end of an era. By this time, the alloy had changed to a cupronickel composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a weight of 2.83 grams and a diameter of 19.41 millimeters. Despite being struck in large numbers, finding a 1964 sixpence in high-grade condition today is far more challenging than most assume, which is what makes it increasingly attractive to modern coin collectors and investors alike. When discussing the cultural and historical importance of the 1964 sixpence, it's impossible not to recognize its sentimental value across Britain and beyond. These coins carry emotional stories, from childhood savings and pocket change to family traditions during festive seasons. For many, holding one today feels like touching a piece of living history, connecting the present generation to their parents' and grandparents' time. The coin's design alone tells a story of unity and endurance, qualities deeply rooted in the post-war British identity. It's this combination of nostalgia, artistry, and national pride that elevates the 1964 sixpence beyond mere currency. It becomes a symbol of continuity and heritage. Collectors today are driven by rarity and condition, and the 1964 sixpence is no exception. While common in circulated grades, finding one graded as MS65 or higher is notably difficult. Coins in this pristine state, especially those certified by top grading authorities like PCGS, NGC, or others, have fetched striking values in various auctions and online platforms. Depending on its luster, strike, and surface preservation, a genuine 1964 sixpence in an MS65 condition has been observed reaching impressive market values of around $1,500, and in certain exceptional cases, even touching close to $2,000 based on collector demand and rarity of flawless examples. Prices like these, often reflected in private auctions and online marketplaces such as eBay and specialist numismatic sales, showcase the high appetite among collectors for immaculate examples of this iconic coin. The value tends to surge when provenance, toning, or rarity of strike adds uniqueness, turning what once was pocket change into a potential treasure of significant worth. For collectors seeking to add the 1964 sixpence to their collections, there are a few key insights worth noting. First, always consider the coin's grade. Coins with fewer scratches, sharper details, and strong mint luster naturally command higher prices. Coins preserved in airtight holders or those that have never been in circulation often appeal most to grading companies and investors. Secondly, keep an eye on auctions and specialist numismatic websites where rare condition pieces occasionally surface, as they can appreciate in value significantly over time. Given the sixpence's strong emotional and historical appeal, even circulated examples remain a smart addition for beginners, as they offer a tangible link to Britain's rich coinage legacy. Collectors often pursue complete sixpence sets from the 1950s through the 1960s, and the 1964 piece is a vital part of that timeline, particularly since it represents the last years before decimalisation transformed the UK's entire currency system. In the current rare coin market, the 1964 sixpence holds an admirable position. While not the rarest of British coins, its combination of nostalgia, age, and collectible charm ensures steady demand, particularly among international buyers who view British pre-decimal coins as undervalued assets with strong future growth potential. High-grade examples, especially those independently graded and encapsulated, are achieving premium results. Market patterns suggest that coins like the 1964 sixpence could continue appreciating as more collectors turn to classic British silver and cupronickel coins for both sentimental and investment reasons. To conclude, the 1964 UK sixpence is far more than just a small piece of metal. It's a story frozen in time. It embodies an era when craftsmanship and national pride were minted into every coin. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or a new enthusiast just discovering the allure of old British currency, this coin represents a golden opportunity. With potential values ranging from the hundreds to over $1,000 for high-grade examples, the sixpence stands as a shining example of how history and investment can merge beautifully. So, before dismissing that tiny coin sitting in an old drawer or family box, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small but mighty piece of British treasure worth far more than its face value. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned to World Numismatic Finds for more rare and valuable coin discoveries from around the world.